Hey guys, hope all is well. Back at you with another video, and today's video is going to be slightly different than the ones I've been doing. It's kind of going to be a little bit of a rant at first, so bear with me throughout the whole video. The first 2-3 minutes are going to be me kind of ranting on my opinion, and then believe me, you're going to want to stay for the whole video because I'm going to be getting into content that no one else gets into regarding Amazon. I'm going to be getting into stuff that you've probably never seen on any other channel, any other course. I'm literally going to be going through every single aspect, every single Amazon expense associated with this business, why all these screenshots that you see on YouTube of people's sales numbers are completely and utterly BS, and what the reality is, what you can expect for yourself in your own business so you're not getting misled time and time again by all of these, all these, gurus. So guys, as you know, the banner image in my channel, this is zero BS ecom, and I really stick to that. I want this channel to be zero BS. This is going to be all reality, real stuff, real world. I have no plans of turning this channel into like a motivation, like change your life with Amazon kind of thing. There's so many other channels and people out there that are, focused on the motivation aspect and how you need to escape the 9-to-5 job and all that stuff, and that's great. Trust me, I'm a full believer in that. But my channel is going to be different because my channel is about literally real world tactics, a little higher level tactics than what you're seeing in these other YouTube videos, because most everything I've seen in every other Amazon YouTube video is very, very generic, very basic information, and my channel is going to be a little more catered toward the more advanced type seller. So that's the route I want to go. That's how I want to be different than other people. I want to give you real world actionable stuff that you can implement in your businesses today. And if you don't have a business, don't worry about it. Just write down, take notes, and watch the videos, and you're going to learn a hell of a lot. Honestly, I have no intention of ever releasing a paid course. I have every intention of spilling all of my beans for free on YouTube. If you want to learn, if you want to buckle in and get ready for the ride, then subscribe and hit that notification bell, because like I said, no BS on this channel, no fluff. Now that I got that little rant off my chest, guys, the topic at hand today is, as you would see by the title of the video, is, gross sales don't mean squat. What are your profits? That's all that matters, guys, in any business. All that matters, how much money are you taking home to the bank? Okay, your bank does not care about your gross sales, do they? No, they care about your profit, the money you can actually physically touch and put in your pocket. That's where I kind of want to segue into this now, because all these ridiculous screenshots that you guys see, like, $1 million in a month, all that stuff. Don't get me wrong, that's awesome. Like, that's awesome, and those screenshots are legitimate. I mean, you can't really fake that, and I am not bad-mouthing anyone out there who's doing $1 million a month. That's awesome. But the only thing I am pointing out in this video is the fact that it's very, very misleading, because I just want you guys to know what the actual profits are out of that $1 million. Okay? So before we really get into that, guys, here's a little list of every expense that goes into this business. You probably don't really, well, if you're new, you definitely don't know this, but the biggest one is definitely cost of advertising, refunds, FBA selling fees, rebates, refunds, A to Z claims, chargebacks, seller fulfilled fees. If you do any sort of FBM, you get a little seller fee. Liquidation. If your product is damaged in any way and not in sellable condition, Amazon will liquidate it. Fee refunds, FBA transaction fees, FBA transaction fee refunds, other transaction fee refunds, FBA inventory and inbound service fees, shipping label cost, general account adjustments. You guys, I mean, this is reality. These are the costs associated with an Amazon FBA business, okay? So now that we have that under control, screenshot inside one of my accounts. Yes, I'm showing you those dreaded screenshots that I was just critiquing earlier, but I'm going to be fully transparent. That's the difference, guys. I'm going to be fully transparent with this screenshot. So look, 385K, great. So that's great and all, but How much of that is mine, right? That's all that matters. What's my profit? The answer is around 115 of that. And you may be wondering, how is your profit only around 30% of that when the products that I'm selling have generally close to a 50% profit margin? And that's a good question. And the answer to that is all of these things above, guys. These are the things that no one actually factors in to their profit and loss. You know, it's one of two things in my eyes. It's the fact that people actually just don't keep track of their numbers, because it actually is a pretty much of a pain in the butt for an Amazon seller to actually be to the cent know exactly what your profits are. It's tough because you have so many things. But well, number one, they don't know. Number two, they do know and they're just trying to sell you courses, or one of those two. I'm not sure. Either way, guys, it's so important that you know your numbers. Please know your numbers. Don't skip this step. When I first got into this business, I was guilty of it. I was one of those people that did not know my numbers because I was new. You don't really know any better. You're not aware of these things. But once you grow, once you get more experience, can't stress that enough, guys. So how is my profit only 30% if my actual products that I'm selling have usually around a 50% margin? Well, like I said, it's mostly advertising, and we're going to get into that in a second. You're going to see exactly what I mean. And believe it or not, guys, I mean, it kind of depends on the product, but there are a fair amount of refunds on Amazon, and refunds kind of suck. Refunds, it's coming, you're going to be paying for it. Coupons, that's another thing. Another thing that really inflates this number right here, guys, is coupons. What do we do for generally every product launch? We run a heavily discounted coupon giveaway, right? What does the coupon giveaway require you to do? It requires you to give away units at a steep discount, which in turn is losing you money. But let me reiterate. Inside of your Seller Central dashboard, let's say somebody buys your $30 item, right? But it's an 85% off coupon because you're running a promotional discount for your product launch. Inside of your Seller Central, it's going to read as a $30 sale. Therefore, this number is always higher than it should be, because this does not take into account your giveaways. So that's another reason why this number is always skewed high. Okay, that's a big reason actually. If you're giving away a couple hundred units every time you launch a product, guys, the picture, right? So look, that's a big one. Liquidation, chargebacks, FBA fees, the list goes on and on. Again, I love the Amazon FBA business, guys, love it, but these are the things you have to be aware of inside of your own business, and there's things you have to expect. The point I'm trying to make is this is the furthest business from a get-rich-quick scheme that you can possibly have, because number one, it's a physical product business. Number two, it's not a drop shipping business, meaning that you do have to invest capital and inventory up front. Meaning, when you want to expand into product number two, you have to invest more capital. Product three, more capital. Let's say product number one is now crushing it. You want to reorder product one, but twice the order quantity. Guys, this is a long-term game. Stop getting sold. These people that are driving around in these Lamborghinis, they're not driving that Lamborghini because of Amazon FBA. They're driving the Lamborghini because of the course they're selling on Amazon FBA. Please realize that. I'm not bad-mouthing those people. Look, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a capitalist. I love making money too. So all the more power to those guys. But my point is, just don't stop getting sold this fantasy lifestyle. Yes, it can be a reality through Amazon FBA, 100%, but it takes time. It is not overnight. Like the furthest thing from overnight in this business, it's going to take you years, and that's totally fine. That's realistic. Have realistic expectations. Have realistic goals. After that second little rant here, remember I said I was going to get back to cost of advertising? Well, let's get back into that. After I discovered this reality, guys, of all these charges, all these things that go into the Amazon business, all these little hidden expenses that you otherwise wouldn't know about if you're new, I am now obsessed with maximizing my profit. I'm obsessed with it, like, because that's really all that matters to me. I am obsessed with maximizing my profit. So let's get into a few ways that you can help do that. Number one is obviously you want to find high profit margin products. So you either want to find a product that's very cheap to source, that you can sell for a 3 to 4 times markup, or you want to find a high ticket product, say, that you can sell for a couple $100s, that you can source for 20 or 30. I went over that in one of my other videos, actually. That's going to require a little more capital up front to source the higher ticket item, but it's a great opportunity. And high ROI products, guys. ROI is something that everyone overlooks. I'm not even sure if people realize. So look, 2 products can have the same profit margin. Let's say you're doing product research on Jungle Scout, right? And you can have 2 products that have the same profit margin, but one product can have an entirely different ROI, meaning how much are you going to get out of what you put in? That's basically what ROI is, right? Return on investment. And 2 products with the same margin can have entirely differing ROIs. Keep that in mind. You want to have a product with a high ROI. I usually shoot for at least 200%. And you want to have efficient ad spend, guys. Now look, at the start, when you first launch a product, when you first get things going, you're going to have to spend money on ads to buy data. Basically, you're just buying data. And when you're in that stage, you're not going to be as profitable. Your goal isn't profit because you're buying data, obviously. But after a month or 2, you've bought sufficient data. You know what works, what doesn't. You know what keywords work, what search terms work. And then you want to optimize like obsessively for profitability, because that's, again, all we care about here, profitability. So let me give you a quick example here. I kind of just randomly stumbled across this product. I was like watching the cooking channel the other day, and this product seems kind of cool. So randomly stumbled across it. If this is your product, I apologize for using it as an example. So it's an eggshell cutter. So let's go over to that listing, see what it's all about. So here we have an eggshell cutter, guys. It's a $10.89 selling point. And so look, I highly recommend you all get this free Chrome extension. It's the AMZ Scout FBA calculator. It's very handy. It's totally free, and you should get it. So look, this tool will tell us the ROI. Well, actually, the ROI is never right, but it'll tell us the margin, and it'll tell us the FBA fees, and it'll give us a pretty good estimate on how much profit we're going to make from this product. So the only thing you want to enter in here, because look, right now it says FBA fee is $483, the total FBA fee. That includes all of the stuff here. And the margin impact is $606, so that's you're making a $6 profit. But what it's not taking into account by default, and what you need to put in here is your product cost. So I have no idea how much this is. I'm going to take just a shot in the dark and say totally landed cost per unit for this product, shipping, packaging, absolutely everything. We're going to go with $250. I don't know. $250. So now, whatever you enter up here, these numbers change. So now our margin is only $3.56. So we have a $250 product cost plus a $483 FBA fee, and we have a profit per unit of $3.56. So back to our little sheet here. $250 product cost plus $486 equals $736 in fees. You have a selling price of $10.89. These numbers are off, but anyway, your profit is $3.56, like we just looked at. So that's very little wiggle room. They're very thin margins. You have a $3.56 profit per unit, and that's for a full price sale, guys. Like no advertising, no nothing. You now have very little room to play with for ads. Without a doubt, the best way to scale your Amazon business is through Amazon sponsored ads. Now we have very little room to do that, because if we spend $3.56 to generate a sale via PPC, we're breaking even. That's our break even. Like, that's not a lot of room. So to put it in perspective, if we spent $3.56 to generate a $10.89 sale, That's a 32% ACOS. That's an ACOS that I assume 90% of you guys don't have, because that's a pretty good ACOS. Let me just put it this way. A 32% ACOS is not easily achievable for every product and to do consistently. For some products, it's more than achievable. For some products, you can get 15, 10% ACOS. I've seen it, I've done it, but for some other products, it is just more difficult. My point is, guys, if you can't make sponsored ads profitable, this is all a numbers game. There should be zero emotion in this equation. It's all a numbers game. If you can't make these ads profitable, then you need to cut the product. You need to drop it. That's the bottom line. Okay, you can't just rely on organic sales if you want long-term sustainability and you want long-term growth in this business. If you don't have the ability to scale to the moon with paid advertising and be profitable while doing it, then you need to cut it. Cut the product, move on to a higher profit margin, higher ROI product. And, that goes back to this, guys. That's why this is so important. Like, imagine how much different it is when you have a product where you have a $10 to $15 to $20 wiggle room. Now you have room to play with. You have room to grow. You have room to test more ad strategies. And you just have so much more freedom and leverage in your business as a whole. That's why I hate selling products that are, low priced like this. I hate selling products that have a low ROI because it leaves me no wiggle room for ads. And ads, like I said, are so crucial to your growth. So I hope this is kind of an eye-opener. Again, guys, I like to show real-world examples. This is how I do it in my businesses. This is how you should do it. It's all a numbers game. It's all just common sense. And, I don't see anyone else teaching this stuff because, I just don't know. Look, I'm not here to sell you a course. I'm not here to sell you a membership. I'm not here to sell you some ridiculous Facebook group that doesn't do anything for you. I'm not here to do any of that, guys. I hope you can realize that. So, on the surface, right, you think, oh my God, this guy made $385K in a few months, right? Believe me, I thought the same way before I got into this business. And I'm here to tell you guys, it's great and all. Like, you need to strive to make a lot of sales, but my point is, this is a long-term game. Don't get sucked into the shiny object syndrome. You have to approach this business with the right mindset. If you approach this business with this get-rich-quick, I'm going to change my life in 2 days mentality, it's not going to happen. Okay? It's not going to happen. I'm not here to put you down. I'm here to give you truth. I'm here to give you real-life insight on this topic and not try to sell you a course. I don't know how many times. I know I've repeated myself a million times, guys, but I just have to drill that home. Give yourself room to play with is the moral of the story here, because in the end, profitability is all that matters in your business. No one cares about gross sales. No one gives a flying